Hey guys, welcome to Tama Tea. I am Destiny, and I am currently running my Digimon X, which I'm super excited for. My Tamagotchi meets Magical. The pastel is on hold until I get a good character on my Magical because, like, I've been getting crappy characters. I'm not drinking any tea. I just have like 3 bottles of water here because it's super early and I didn't feel like it. What about you guys?
Well, I'm Lila, and I am currently running my Digimon X as well. Um, I just restarted it because I let it die because I didn't like where I was going with it, I guess. And I'm also running my English Gudetama, which I got at Target yesterday or 2 days ago because I can't control myself when I see Tamagotchis in stores. And I am drinking um, rooibos hibiscus tea and a big glass of water because last time my mouth got so dry from talking for like 3 hours. So,
Oh, hey, you guys. It is Crystal. And I'll be honest, I kind of put all my pets on hold. I do have some that are like running slightly in the background. Still running my Thinkway Toy Story pet. Uh, I'm actually looking at them. Sorry. It's hard for me to remember. My Meats battery died literally yesterday, and I was just too busy to put a new one in there. But I like my character. It's really cute, and I'm really hoping that like someone will mix with it soon. Got to go on to the app or something, figure that out. And my Karopi. I've been kind of messing with that. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's really cute, so I don't think I'll get rid of it anytime soon. But I don't think it's my type of pet, really.
Yeah, the Karopi, it's really cute. I haven't really gotten into it, but I've been meaning to. But I remember it being kind of simple when I ran it for the short while I did.
It is very simple. There's not seemingly many consequences for kind of like not taking care of it properly. I mean, obviously, I don't think it'll get to its end evolution, but it'll just take you back to the select screen with the eggs, and you can just select a new egg and start from there. So I like it. The pixels are really cute. It is super easy. Um, just because you basically like select your egg and then the percentage of its like evolution meter will go up or down based on the care that you give it. So you'll give it some care, check the meter, and if it went up, you know that you're doing the right thing and you can just repeat those behaviors.
Okay, that sounds.
Tama mail, I got a Digimon case just yesterday. I received my Tuma pet from Lila just the other day and a Fit
yeah.
Boys as well, which is like a fitness pet. That's pretty much all my recent mail.
Nice. I recently got the Ditto Mini, but I'm actually going to work on that today. I've been working all week, but today I'm off, so I'm going to be messing with that a little bit. I'm excited about that, downloading games onto my Pokemon Mini.
How do you plug that? Do you like plug it into your computer or like how does that work?
Yeah, so it's like it has a micro USB and then you just plug it in with USB. And then there's like
Oh.
some wires that plug into the other side, which has the chip for the card that you
Mhm.
plug into the actual card, and then it flashes the card or something when you've downloaded the game. So
Yeah,
that's
basically writes the game to the card, I would
That's
assume.
that's awesome. That sounds so cool. I wish I had a Pokemon Mini so I could like get
I'm
all the
literally
games.
going to get one just because of this. This is the evolution that I needed to buy
Yeah.
in because they're kind of
right.
expensive, but they're really really cute. I
Yeah,
also need to get a Digimon X. You guys are making me incredibly jealous.
Yes. I don't know if you guys heard it like transforming or whatever, but like I just hatched mine again. Um and so I think it's is it Tokomon X that you get after the baby guy? I think it's Tokomon, but yeah, so I'm restarting with that. Who do you have on yours right now, Destiny?
So I don't know any other names, but I had like the tiger guy with wings. And then I left it at home while I was at work and he died. But so I reset it, but luckily like when you reset, I think you hold two different buttons. I don't know which ones it was, but I tried multiple. And you
Mhm.
get a new egg, but you get to keep all the areas that you unlocked. So right
Yeah.
now I have the second evolution guy, but he's like super strong. It seems like so he's I
Oh,
think it might have
nice.
kept the level. So I tried defeating the Area 10 boss. I just used the door and went straight there. He did so much damage, but he the other guy was blocking a lot, so he lost. But if he would have hit twice, he would have killed him. Like
Oh,
Oh,
super.
nice.
nice.
Yeah. So
Um,
I'm like, he's so strong for a baby.
oh, little tough baby with all your muscles. But I did pretty well on my first time running it. I got to Lily Mon X and she was like really tough and stuff. And then like I think I got to area 17 or something like that. And then like I accidentally let it die, which is stupid because it's so easy to pause this one. When it's daytime and you turn the lights off, it'll go into the freezer.
Oh.
Yeah, and pause it, which is awesome, right?
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
I think I want to say the VPET 20th anniversary had that feature as well. I'm pretty sure the Pendulum 20 has that. That might be a feature from the Pendulum, the old Pendulum. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. I actually got a traded egg from after my Lilymon X died. So like and I didn't know this. Apparently, a traded egg is like if you meet a certain requirement on your current Digimon and it dies, it'll leave you a traded egg. And then when you hatch that traded egg, you start at level 3 no matter what. Each time your Digimon
Oh.
evolves. Yeah, maybe that's why your little
It's
baby is like a super tough baby.
yeah, because there was no death screen. It was just an egg. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, was it like a little? It was like a little egg with like little shiny
Yeah, and
sparkles
there
around
was
it.
an X on it.
Yeah, that's a traded egg.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, which is really cool because it's like, you know, it kind of rewards you for taking really good care of your Digimon, even though you messed up and let it die. So I think that's a really cool feature.
I freaking
Yeah,
need it.
no, like Crystal, you need to like stop thinking about it too much and like buy one because they're gonna get really expensive really quick.
You're not wrong, and I
Yeah.
keep like hesitating on pulling the trigger, and I screwed up because I found a pair of them for like I don't even know 140,
Yeah.
and I should have pulled the trigger then. I
Yeah, you
just
should have.
I just was too hesitant. I was like, I don't know about this, and I didn't do it. Now I'm regretting it. But this week, I need to just sell a couple of a couple stuffs. I'm gonna sell a couple stuffs, and then I'll buy one. I put that on my life.
Yeah, it's really cute. I actually have my Digivice on as well. I think I forgot to mention, and also my little Agumon figure, and I've been like battling all three of them. Like they actually connect to the Digimon X connects to the Digivice as well, so it's kind of fun.
I'm so jealous of your little figure thingy.
I
I
know,
want
I love
one.
it.
It's so cool. You just like that's so cool. You don't have to do anything with it. You just like battle it. That's so cool.
Hold
I
on,
love
I'm
it.
gonna grab it, and it makes the cutest noises.
Okay. I think Oh my God. Oh my God,
Did you
that's
hear?
so
Yes.
It's
Oh
so
my
cute.
God. That is That's so cute. I love it.
It sounds like a chipmunk or like a guinea pig.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it kind of echoes. It sounds like it's like a guinea pig in a cave or something. So, we have something really exciting to tell you guys. We will be hosting our first giveaway. We will be announcing more about it very, very soon on all of our social media. And we will actually be giving away a custom Tamagotchi that I will be painting. And I will be posting like some images of previous customs that I've made so you guys know it's legit. But we had the idea and thought it would be a really good way to maybe get a few more followers, get some momentum, and just have fun with you guys. So we are really excited about that.
Just a little thank you for all your guys' support and everything. So we're super excited to be doing the podcast and everything.
Keep a lookout on our social medias. We're TMGCT pretty much everywhere. We'll be posting about that within, the coming days.
So keep an eye out.
Well, moving into our news for this episode, we're going to talk about My Meats. The 1.1 update released. You can find it on tomatown.com/downloads. People have been successfully creating mixes. The characters in the family tree are obviously missing their facial features, as you might have seen. But this is normal, and your child will inherit the genes. I've used the app myself, and I haven't had any issues with it as far as like getting the genes. I know I said to you guys in our chat the other day that I thought it messed up, but I don't know what happened. It literally, I like looked at it again. I was like, oh no, that's right.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like double checking. I was like, am I just looking at something wrong? And either I was like, it hadn't evolved from a teen yet, or I was just, I don't know, on crack.
So it got all the genes that
Yeah.
that was picked, basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Nice.
only thing that was different was the color, but I just changed that with food, like
Yeah.
accidentally,
Mm-hmm.
just because I wasn't paying attention and I fed it the same thing too many times. But
I
other
hate
than
that.
it's exactly the same. It turned to white though, so I wasn't mad.
Mm-hmm.
It was still cute. I would have been pissed if I like gave it too much Oma rice and it turned to yellow. Like
Yeah.
that would have been bad
Mm-mm.
news bears.
I always do that color first, like when it asks for 2 color changes, because that's like the worst one, and it's also the
Exactly.
cheapest. So
Exactly. Apparently, there have been connectivity issues with the pastel meats to the My Meats app. And this seems to be a problem with the hardware of the Tamagotchi and not the application, since it happens in the application too. It's like a problem on both sides. So I don't know. I don't have a pastel meats, so I haven't tested it with the My Meats app and seen any difference. But as far as I know, it's been taking a long time to connect when it is successful.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, I haven't used the pastel with My Meats. I haven't used My Meats at all, actually, but the pastel with like the regular app, it takes a long time, and I don't know why. I mean, Bandai, Japan, what are you doing? You said you fixed it, but you didn't. But I mean, Destiny, have you tried to connect your pastel with My Meats?
yeah, it was working fine like the first few times, and then after that it's like everyone else pretty much. I have to just keep trying, and it's definitely an issue with the Tamagotchi, I think, because the magical works fine, but I have a weird issue with my meats. So every time I open the app, I can only connect once, and then I have to close it and open it again in order for it to work again. And I've only met like one other person where it has that issue, and I've tried deleting and re-downloading, but that makes it so I actually can't marry it or get character, because those require like 2 connections. So it won't
Oh.
connect the second time for either of them. And I only have 1 connect basically per time I open it, and it's super weird. So I've just been like getting items and money basically.
Have you tried like deleting and then re-downloading the app?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. I tried that once. And I
Yeah.
have the update and everything. But the same thing. So maybe it's like my computer or something.
That's unfortunate. I haven't had any problems with it thus far. And admittedly, I feel like I'm running this in like the weirdest way because I have a Mac with a Windows partition, and my Mac hardware meets the specifications. I just had to update the partition to the creator's update to be able to use the application, and it's worked seamlessly thus far. Don't want to jinx it. Let me knock on some wood. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just been it's been a crapshoot for people, and obviously we're kind of like in the alpha of this application, so like things are going to change. Like obviously an update's already happened. I feel like we'll see some changes throughout time, and hopefully that improves the user experience. But some glitches that have been reported are that some characters have turned completely invisible for some time. We're unsure if this is the application though, so this has not been a verified claim. The Tama resetting itself on the baby naming screen after marrying a character on the app. Some people have experienced that their Tama will not go to bed at their regular time, even past 1 o'clock in the morning, which can be really annoying, I'm sure. And then I've seen this one a lot. Someone also said they couldn't feed their Tama after connecting with the app, or that like they feed the Tama and it does nothing, you know? They can feed it so much food and it never fills the hunger bar. I've also seen reports, though I will say that this has not been my experience because I have connected to the official Meats application after using My Meats and not been blocked. But there have been people that have reported being blocked. And more on that in a little bit because there is a little bit of friction amongst the Meats app and My Meats app. But I don't know if there's some assets in the My Meats app that the Meats app is able to like discover and recognize as like fraudulent, you know?
Maybe it's like a certain combination of genes or something.
Or maybe
Like,
certain items. I don't even
yeah,
know.
It's probably something in like the code of it, and like the code is slightly different than the original code for those characters, and so the app can pick up on that. That's my guess. I'm not technical. I'm not a computer science person. Don't
I
ask
do
me, but
think that people are using My Meats to push the gene mixing to its limits. And I think it could be a possibility that the Meats application is able to detect Tamagotchis that have like unprecedented gene mixes, you know, things that wouldn't happen on the device.
that makes sense because like people are very selectively choosing what they want, and maybe those mixes aren't like a normal part of the algorithm, like because there's like a normal or like I'm sure they have a certain algorithm that the Meats follows, and maybe like certain mixes just wouldn't happen like you said
Yeah.
normally.
This is all just speculation, of course. We don't know, but
Yeah.
it's worth noting that some people have been being blocked from using the application no matter whether they update it or not. I've been keeping my app up to date and I've been able to connect to it and still GPS spoof to get, you know, my items and stuff. So I don't know exactly what it is that's causing that, but it is unfortunate for the people that have been experiencing it. Additionally, we did have some PSAs made on Facebook in the Discord by some Japanese users. Maple in the Discord summed up what the whole issue with connecting with My Meats and then using the official Meats application is. Obviously, like we appreciate My Meats. It's really awesome, but there is like legislation in place that makes tampering with game data illegal in Japan, and it's punishable by hefty fines. So players are concerned that if they connect with people that have used My Meats to screw up their genes, that might like fall under the scope of the law. This is, you know, I don't know. I guess it's causing some rifts in the like Japanese versus the Western Tama communities. So people were kind of urging others, if you have used the app to get genes, to not mix with others in the official application. Obviously, that's up to your own discretion as to whether you will do it or not, but it's food for thought.
It's just kind of like being considerate of their laws and that they could get in trouble for what you were doing, basically. And I probably won't, like, if I ever mix in the app, in the My Meats, I probably won't mix with the app just because I don't want to cause anyone else to get into trouble over it. It seems kind of serious over there. I'm not sure like how serious, but just in case.
I think it's like really, really serious because I think Sam posted Maple's comment or Maple's little spiel on Facebook, and people were like talking about the For You app that Mr. Blinky made. And like obviously he doesn't live in Japan, but someone who lived in Japan and was using the app got in trouble like with the law, and Bandai took them to court even though they didn't create the actual app themselves. So yeah, and I think they said that they ruled that he was innocent because like he didn't create the app himself or whatever. I don't really know a lot about it. I wasn't around when that happened, but I was just reading other people's comments and I was like, damn, like that's serious. They're not playing around with that. So I totally understand why people in the Japanese Tamagotchi community are concerned about, you know, the My Meets app and that kind of thing. And I know a lot of people were upset, like, oh, I love My Meets, but I like to marry my friends in the app. Like now I can't do that. And it's like, well, you have to be respectful. I mean, if that's like literally against the law, you shouldn't. I don't know. I mean, I understand being upset because I understand like wanting to use, as a Westerner, wanting to use My Meets to get the exclusive characters and stuff. But like, you have to be respectful and not push it too much. Also, like, one thing I thought of, like, I know not everyone has two Meets, but like if you do have two, you can use one for the app and then one for My Meets, and that's kind of like a happy medium, I guess.
Would that like count marrying like Mamichi?
What do you mean?
Like if you
I feel like the only person that could screw over is yourself, right?
Wait, like going into the app, like say you married, are you talking about like marrying someone you've already married with My Meets and then marrying Mamichi?
Using a My Meets character and marrying a non-playable character. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that would hurt, but I think like you might not. I mean, if people aren't being able to, yeah, you'll probably get blocked. I think
that's what I'm saying. Is like the only person it'll hurt is probably you.
I mean, I haven't used it, so have either of you had problems with it at all, other than like Destiny? Obviously, you not being able to connect multiple times.
Yeah, other than not being able to connect 2 times, it's been really fun. Pretty easy to use. I really enjoy it.
The only thing I guess is like the drop down or the scrolling menu for like the jeans. I wish that I could just see all my choices at once. But this is like a user interface thing. It's not a problem with like me being able to use it. It's just me being uppity about how I like to look at things.
Yeah.
But it works fine. Yeah. And I mean, I definitely think that it's super satisfying to be able to like create your own bespoke character.
Yeah, I love the idea of it. I'm just like, I'm scared because the Meets has already inherently had its own issues. So I'm like, I don't want to add something that could potentially mess it up. I'm not saying that like, it sounds like it's pretty, most people have good experiences, but then like the weird glitchy things, I'm like, I don't know. So yeah. I'm just more cautious, I guess. But that's just
I guess me. I am like not afraid about messing up My Meets if it screws it up, you know. I guess that's that. But I admittedly I haven't had any glitches or anything. Like I was kind of expecting it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna use this application and it's gonna brick my Tama.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. It worked just fine afterwards. I was pretty shocked. The only thing is like, yeah, the genes not showing up in the family tree, which is kind of scary to look at.
Right.
But
yeah.
But other than that, no problem. So
it's like the kid grows up. Okay, time for me to have your eyes.
You have your mother's eyes. Literally. You really do. But yeah, I've been enjoying it thus far. I just hope that, you know, over time I guess we'll see things change and hopefully like, you know, we get some good resolutions on both sides, because I don't want there to be like this huge divide amongst the Meets community about this stupid app. It's not stupid, it's great. But
yeah.
I really like it, not trying to minimize that. But yeah, I don't want an application to cause huge rifts. So I will say that like I am a proponent of like kind of keeping those things separate. I've obviously connected to the app, but I'm not trying to like screw up other people's genes.
And I just wanted to mention the guy who actually created the My Meets app. He created like some socials So it's bolter.my.meets on Instagram and I think Twitter as well, but for sure Instagram.
It was funny when we posted on Instagram about the My Meets, people were like asking us questions and like
I know.
they thought we made it, and I was like,
feel yeah, people got super confused. I'm like, no, that ain't me.
Yeah.
I consider myself to be pretty bright, but that's way beyond my pay grade. I'll be real. The next bit of news that we have is the Fantasy Meets League. It's a little old news now, but I'm really excited for it. These shells look so beautiful. They have a blue and a purple shell option. There's going to be 3 new locations on this Tama: Princess Palace, Arabian Night, and Wonderland, as well as 3 pairs, so 6 new fantasy themed characters. We have Prince Mamechi, Lovely Princess, Dream Alice, Shiny Hatter, Mellow Arabian, and Lampachi. And I just love these little themes. I like die for the Alice in Wonderland theme.
Me too.
I also like the on the leak there was a little tidbit about you can like see the soldiers in the Wonderland and they can change you red or black. And I think that's really cool. A little color change feature on that. So I'm really excited for this one.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like when it leaked, I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like people were thinking it was like Disney themed at first, and I was like, holy shit. But
I freaking wish, but like the licensing that they'd have to do.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
Disney would have made it obvious.
think right.
Disney
Yeah, if
all
it
over
was Disney, yeah, there would be like Mickey Mouse and there would be like Disney logo everywhere. So like people were like freaking out because they thought it was Disney, but I was like, I don't know. This is like just as good, I think, because
This is better. IMO.
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't love brand collaborations on Tamagotchi, I guess, specifically because it's just like so, I don't know, on its face about it, like minimizes. That's just great in and of itself. We got like a bunch of new content, but the little jeans here, like I'm in love with this genie tail type of gene that we've got going on, and then like the Prince Mamechi body is so cute.
I know.
it's so cute.
It's so cute with and then the little pumpkin carriage, like it's all so cute. Like Disney would have never done like Cinderella, Aladdin, and Alice. Like they would have wanted to like milk it,
Well,
do maybe like one thing or like Mickey Mouse or something.
that's what I'm saying. It would have been like all Mickey Mouse and
Mhm.
like, these super prominent characters. So we'd have like mouse ear jeans and stuff like that, which isn't bad, but I just feel like this is a great variety and just like, I don't know, it doesn't need to be so like branded for it to be good. Plus, like
Right.
these
Sorry.
stories aren't. No, you're good. These stories aren't unique to Disney.
Yeah.
They're just fairy tales.
Right, exactly. And like I think it's also cute because like instead of it being like, oh, you mix with Mickey Mouse, you're mixing with a variant of characters we're already familiar with. So to me, that's kind of more enjoyable because it's like characters you already love in like a different kind of form. Like the lamp genie Kuchipachi guy, I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I need that right now, you know? And I think actually Prince Mamechi, the Lovely Princess, and the Arabian Melody, those were all like alter egos from the IDL, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. At least I think they were, or maybe not Lovely. Was Lovely Princess? I might be wrong on that. I might be really wrong. I know Prince Mamechi was a Henshin Joe character or transformation, right? And then the Arabian Melody was on the 15th anniversary IDL as like a dress up version.
Didn't remember about that, but I know I always look at the charts and I'm like, oh, I wish I could sometimes try for those special characters. I know some people are like, oh, they didn't even make any new characters, they're just outfits. And to be fair, probably in my meets they'll probably like make those outfits so you could just give it to your character eventually, but I think it's really cute. I don't have issues with it, and the locations are super cute too, and there's 3 of them. I'm happy with it. People just like to complain.
I'm stoked. I can't wait till we get
Yeah.
some more official information on it. Additionally, this is bringing us up there with the meats versions. So we're not far off from being equal to the amount of mix releases.
We're 1 week away. Which is
And that's crazy. Yeah. But
I
I'm
mean,
excited.
but it's really crazy because the meats has only been out since November.
crazy.
And even before like by the time this is released, like it won't even be a year that the meats has been out and we almost have the same amount of mixes. So I'm like, are they going to be making more meats as like time goes on? Because I think with the mixes, didn't it take like 2 years for them to finish all of the, or maybe it was sooner. I might be mistaken.
I just looked up the release date of the mix, and the original one came out July 16, 2016. So, like, 2 years total of them making mixes, approximately.
Yeah, because
So,
when did the last one come out?
let me see. That was the gift anniversary, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of unprecedented. They're coming out with lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually we had a little bit of like a break between the mix and the meat. So the November 23rd was when the gift anniversary, or maybe just the regular anniversary. I'm not seeing a date for the gift. Probably like a year and a half to 2 years of development. So if they do the same for the meats, man, we're gonna have a lot of meats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, how many are they gonna come out? I'm gonna go broke if they keep. I mean, seriously, there's just like I'm not getting. I got both colors of the pastel. Not gonna lie, I couldn't resist. But like with this one, I'm only gonna get one because I have to limit
Yeah.
myself somehow.
Plus
She says
it's
this
the
now.
same, so
Leave me alone.
Just saying, like you're saying this now, and we're gonna quote you later when you
Okay.
have both of them.
Yeah. It's on record now. I have a problem.
What do you think's next?
Christmas version. That's what I want. But maybe that's just me.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, I guess.
let's look at the theme. So magical fairy, and then there's pastel, and then there's this fantasy. So I don't know what else could fall under like that would go after that. I don't know, but I'm loving all the themes. Like with the mixes, I didn't get all of them, but I'm loving every single one of these meats so far, and I love the meats like to begin with. So
I think
I'm
they've done a really good job with it in general, other than like the pastel not connecting to the app very well. I'm a little salty about that, but I mean overall I really enjoy it. I really want to start mine up again because I was thinking about it and like what am I going to do when the app is gone? Because like I don't think that app is going to be there forever, right?
they'll stop support eventually. So
Yeah.
It always happens, but thankfully, like, that's why I think a lot of fans develop these third-party apps so that, once the hype dies down and, these become old news, we're still able to get that full experience.
Oh yeah, like I'm really thankful for like the For You app and I guess I'll probably use my meats once I don't have a choice anymore. Oh, one more thing about the fantasy meats. I might want to pull it up on Tama Town, but apparently they read into it and because there was like the initial leak with like a small picture and then there was another leak with a larger picture. And in the margins of the larger picture, you could see Otogichi, maybe. But yeah, on Tama Town, they describe it and it says there's a little feature with like a storybook on a ship and it's called Wonderland Picture Book. And like apparently you read the book and experience a story when they cast a spell, which sounds yeah,
I'm
it
looking
sounds
at it
so
now.
cute. It
Oh my
sounds so
God.
cute. Yeah, so like you can read about it on Tamatown.com. I just was on their homepage, and you scroll down a little bit, it's right there. But yeah, it looks super cute.
That
Definitely
is
check
really
it
cute.
out.
That's like that fits with the storybook theme and the and everything. That's just so adorable.
I am so excited for this one, especially because I didn't get the pastel. So I'll have my Sanrio and I'll get the fantasy, and I'll be living the fantasy.
Which colors do you guys want to get?
I like the blue.
Same.
Yeah, the blue is like really bright and icy, but like I feel like I have every single purple meets like literally I have the purple magical, the purple pastel, and now I want the purple fantasy. And obviously the Sanrio is just the pink, but I'm gonna have like all purple. I love them though.
Oh my God, I bet like each one is gonna like be a different shade, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah. You gotta take a picture of those.
Take a picture of the gradient.
Okay, so moving on. Guidebooks for the magical and fairy meats are now available on Japan You Want. And I know a lot of people are excited about these. I wasn't really into it because I'm pretty sure it's going to be 100% in Japanese, and I can't read that. So I'm like, whatever.
I'm not going to put myself into a stressful situation on purpose.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
getting
it's
my phone out,
right.
translate open.
A whole process to try to, translate it. I like the comics in the back. I think the artwork's really cute, but it's only a few pages long, so I ended up not ordering. But I really do like the mixed guidebook. I do have that, but to be honest, I just look through it. I don't actually like try to read it. It's too much of a hassle. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll be very grateful when some nice person in the community translates the very useful information in there.
And then we get to then we can read it and see it all for free.
Thank you. But I think they're great, like for what they are, and they're definitely like I guess collectible in their own right. But it's not for me.
Yeah, I know a lot of them. I think like maybe the IDL guidebook and like the P's guidebook kind of can fetch a pretty penny sometimes. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of vintage guidebooks because I've seen like I think there's one for the devil that's like really rare, I think.
Oh.
Like or maybe it was just I saw a picture on Instagram. Maybe it was like a guidebook for like all of the different vintages. But like I remember seeing that and I was like, I've never seen that before. I bet that probably costs a lot. I think I messaged the guy and he was like, yeah, it cost me a lot. I was like, damn. But yeah, so maybe with these ones they'll increase in value or whatever eventually, but for now I'm like kind of meh about it. I don't really care.
I don't buy into a lot of the extras, like, we got lanyards and guidebooks and all sorts of stuff like that, and I just stick with my little devices. Honestly though, Bandai, you can sell like more cases and stuff. We'd probably buy into that. Just saying.
Like the vintage ones with I really love the Suku one where it's like a little t-shirt and it has the hole at the top where you can use the lanyard and put the
I almost bought one of those the other day.
They're so cute. I love them. And there's like a little mini one too. It's like a Suku one and then like a little mini t-shirt for like vintages. It's so cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I actually used to have that one, but I sold it because I'm dumb. the Suku one.
Oh, I sold the mini one because I'm like, I could just use the big one for all of them.
Yeah. Mimichi is actually in the Meets app right now, available to marry, which is really cool. I know a lot of fans are excited about that because she doesn't get enough love. She's kind of
She's so cute.
She's like the forgotten daughter.
So underrated.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, like having the connections, and originally Mimichi was in the little Tamagotchi symbol in the logo.
Yeah.
You remember? And then they changed it, and I was like, oh, why'd they change it? And then Mimichi took over, and it was all over from there.
I'm sure she's salty about that.
Yep.
I would be.
They're secretly rivals. They
Oh
hate
my
each
God.
other.
Nemesis.
Fighting for the spotlight. Mimichi's like, it's my time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really get the appeal over Memechi over Mimichi. I think Mimichi's kind of cuter.
She is. I agree.
They're both really cute. I honestly I like vintage Memechi better than modern Memechi.
Hmm.
Mamechi. Ugh, I thought I said Memechi.
It reminds me of a Pikachu, like how they changed him over the years. Pikachu used to be so cute and fat.
Oh my God, he was so fat, and now he's
I know.
like
Pikachu's
on a
like
diet.
on a diet now. Yeah.
Pikachu went on Weight Watchers and
Oh, no.
is unrecognizable now.
Pikachu lost 10 pounds on Jenny Craig.
I like nice and chubby and awkward looking. You
Mhm.
know, that's kind of how Mamechi was too. God, I can't say his freaking name. But yeah, they like turned him all kawaii and shit, and I'm like over it.
Pass.
But Mimichi, they kept her relatively the same, which is cool. Like she was perfect already.
Yep.
Why don't fix it if it ain't broke? So, Bandai America apparently has been conducting surveys about Tamagotchis in the US, and you can sign up and get paid for answering, but the surveys are random, so they might not necessarily ask you about Tamagotchi. They might be asking you about maybe another of their products, I imagine. I haven't tried this, so I don't really know, but they ask questions like, how did you hear about them? Which Tamas do you own? And which one stands out the most? And which, or out of a few pictures, I assume they'll allow you to click which one you like best. And then which Tama was most memorable. And you can, I think Tama Palace made a post about it on their blog, if you want to check that out. Did either of y'all try it out? Because I didn't.
No, I don't want to like have to sign up and then wait for them to ask me about Tamagotchis, but I thought it was interesting that they're taking information, Bandai America specifically, so for English Tamagotchis. So it's just interesting that they're getting information for that because, it's probably to help them work on something new, so it makes you wonder.
Every
Yeah.
time. Makes me wonder.
Makes you wonder. What are you guys doing?
I mean, really, because like we have no idea, and like, but I don't know, just the way they handle their Instagrams and stuff. It's been really, they've been on top of it. They've been updating a lot, so I definitely think they have something going on, and I'm a little scared because I don't want the friends again.
Dear God, I'm trying to sell mine.
Yeah. I just like if we have like something like the Tamago, like hell yeah, I want more of that. But the friends, I'm like, that was a flop. Shove it under the rug. Don't bring it back.
I'm sure they learned from the friends. I'm sure the sales like back that up that they won't, make anything like that again. So
I mean, but like, did they learn with the friends? Because there was the friends, and then there was the friends Dreamtown,
but they
and
might
it's
have
like,
already been working on that,
but
since it's the same line,
but
possibly.
it wasn't that different though.
Yeah.
So like, why even make another one of something that isn't that great already? You know what I mean?
Well, they're just trying to capitalize on, the tech and development they had already done.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I mean, the screen was better. They probably just, were like, oh, we got better screens because of these sales. Maybe they were able to afford better screens and they kind of just updated a little, I'm guessing.
I hope they look at the connection era and they think, oh, this was so good. We were making so much money because these pets were actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So hopefully they'll take a look at that and think about what they've done in the past. I don't know. I mean, I'm regardless, I'm excited. When the P1 and P2 came out, I was excited. It's really exciting. I think whatever comes out, we'll all be talking about it and we will all be, on board at first unless we realize it sucks and then we're like, whatever, but we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Definitely still support them either way. So
Yeah,
we'll see
exactly.
what.
In other news, let's fly to Japan now. Specifically Tokyo Disney, which I wish every day I was there and not I don't know.
And not here.
I mean, who doesn't want to be in Disneyland? The Usatama and Usapio are delayed until May. I am
15th.
going to be messaging US Shopping SOS when it's out. I mean, and I'm going to ask them to send me pictures of the packaging for both of them since I bought the Usapio from them. So hopefully they'll be nice and send me uh, pictures of the packaging and everything so we can have those for you guys and post on the Instagram and Twitter, etc.
Be on the lookout for that. They provided us with some great information a while back, so I will not be surprised if they do provide us with some nice pictures.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we were talking about this between the three of us, how like it's funny that, Usatama and Usapio are part of the Tokyo Disney Easter event, but like obviously it's way past Easter now and they are still, releasing stuff and how like Japan doesn't really celebrate Easter, but they kind of just use it as an aesthetic.
Yeah, it seems like it if they weren't too like pressed on releasing it by Easter. I mean, I don't know. I guess they just really like bunnies and chicks and pastels. I
And
don't
eggs.
I don't disagree.
Right? I mean, I think that's it's a really cute like aesthetic to go for the whole Easter thing with the little bunnies and the eggs and the pastel colors and like I really love that they kind of admire that from afar because they don't really celebrate Easter the way we do in the West. So I think it's just kind of funny how it's kind of like an appreciation of something that they don't really celebrate.
Well, I think that, and this isn't something that's like unique to Japan, but something that is not, I don't know, commonish in Japan is their commandeering of holidays and making them into just secular holidays. It's just
Right.
it's just a day where we like have a festival.
Yeah.
It's just a day to have fun as opposed to like this was the day that my son rose from the dead.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of funny because like the way that we celebrate Easter in America, it's more religious and stuff, but then at the same time we have this whole thing with the eggs and the bunnies and that doesn't really fit in. I think that's kind of more of a pagan thing actually.
Well, I
The
feel like the hallmark imagery that's been paired with our like religious holidays has been an effort to commercialize them and secularize them so that we can make
ev-
money off of them.
right, because then
Because otherwise, it would just be people going to church on that day.
right, and the more if you make it more secular, the more people can celebrate it, and that's kind of what happened with Easter in Japan, which I think is just kind of funny, and I think like
They
I
also
think
just
they
have hella holidays.
yeah,
They got a
which
lot of holidays.
right, I mean like I feel like I've learned about that from Tamagotchi animations. I'm like, oh, what's this? What are they doing? And I look it up, and I'm like,
You look it
oh,
up and you're like, oh, it's a holiday.
yeah, it's kind of it's interesting, and I wish we had more holidays.
And like
Um,
week-long holidays.
yeah, really.
Even for like Halloween, there's like a few countries that like kind of try to celebrate a little, even though they don't really do it in that country, but they admire like the Halloween, like what we do here, activities and aesthetic and everything. I would be the same way.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. And I think that Japan does it with Christmas too.
Well, yeah, Christmas is like a couple's holiday in Japan, to my understanding.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know that I know that we have the Santa Gotchi,
Yeah.
Santa Clauchi, and it's, you know, like there's the white shell that has Xmas written on it, which is a big no-no for a lot of religious people, because they don't want to take the Christ out of Christmas. So
Mm.
I don't think, I mean, I'm sure there's some Christian people in Japan, but I don't think that is the reason they are celebrating it at all. But I mean,
No,
I'm glad,
I don't think so.
yeah, but I'm glad that they appreciate it because then we get cute stuff like the anniversary gift mix with cute little characters and stuff on it. We just kind of are reaping the benefits of their fascination.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I guess, a back and forth as well. We're definitely fascinated with them.
Hmm.
They're definitely fascinated with us, and I love that. Like, I do love just the tiny little tidbits that I learn through, yeah, like an obscure Tamagotchi animation
Right.
or something along those lines. It's really interesting how they're able to implement those kind of like tiny little artifacts of culture into the game.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. I think it's super cute. The little animations like with the dolls and the recently there was the carp flags or something. What was it?
Yeah, I
Uh
don't know. I don't know what it is, but that was in the Relakama show, which, oh my God, I love that show. But they
The
were putting up
Were
those
they
flags.
koi?
I think they were carp, I think. Like little fish flags.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. I feel, but it's cute and I like it's an opportunity to learn more about it.
It's like having holidays of like both sides. Our holidays, their holidays, all on the Tamagotchi.
So, Tama Palace recently posted speculation that the EV Nano is very unlikely to come to the US. I'm not really surprised by this at all because, like, I mean, and they explain it in their post. You can look it up on their blog, tama-palace.tumblr.com, I think is their URL. They talk about the licensing in America versus Japan, and it would just be very difficult for Bandai America to get the rights to do that and release EV Nano in the States. I mean, I was hopeful that it would come.
I think it
What?
would sell like hotcakes if it did come, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. I don't know. It would sell really well here.
I do
Oh
think it
yeah.
would sell amongst, like people like us and Pokemon fans, but I think one of the problems is that the chibi devices are like a relative high price point for what you get. And I don't know how well the Gudetama did here or is doing here because it's still selling.
Um,
Um, but I guess
Well,
that's something to
I bought one a
think
few
about.
days ago,
I
so
literally just bought one, so they're doing fine.
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
they've been selling out at GameStop at least. So and I have seen them on shelves at Target. So I mean, they're not like selling out everywhere, but I think they've been doing fairly well. I know my friend who is my coworker actually at GameStop. She doesn't even collect Tamagotchis or play them, but she did buy one. I thought that was interesting. I think that the Chibis are a good model for like standard Americans just because they don't need a whole lot of attention and they're pretty simple to care for like maybe the young adult audience. But I don't know. They are pretty pricey at $20 though for a toy. A lot of Americans see it as like, just a toy. So
That's where I think the
that's true.
problem is for like
Yeah.
the average consumer. It's just that the price point is too high, especially like think of if it has the exact same packaging and they sell that for $20 here.
Yeah, they'd be like, that little thing,
People
$20?
be like, this is all I get. for
Make the
$20.
packaging big for Americans. They'll be like, oh, cool.
They have to. Literally, they make it like a full piece of cardboard because they're like, we got to make the illusion that this thing is huge.
Oh, I hate that. You know how wasteful that is? That's so
It's
I know.
true.
wasteful
It's
and
so
horrible.
true. When I got the packaging for this, I was like, this is what I'm talking about.
Like,
Because I got a Gudetama, and yeah, I feel like you could have made the packaging for that smaller. There ain't shit on it.
I think the Gudetama did well in GameStop because, you know, people who go into GameStop, they buy video games and probably remember Tamagotchis and they maybe like Gudetama as well. And then like, you know, it's a lot of adults shop in GameStop as well
Yeah.
as kids. And then like with the Gudetama at Target, they shove them in the toy aisle and
Yeah.
kids don't know what it is. And, you know, I think like maybe preteens, I don't know if little kids like Gudetama. Maybe it's I don't know. I have no idea. But like,
Sorry, it's such a great point because I mean, there's a lot of collector culture in GameStop, and you know, a lot of people that collect statues and toys and games. You know, all kinds of people that come in, and I definitely think Tamagotchi should be in like the collector section of Target, like Gigapets. They're gonna actually, Alex from Gigapets, they've been talking about like, should we have it in the kids section or the collector section? I think they might start. You know, they started selling at Box Lunch. I don't think it's in stores. It might be, but I really think that virtual pets would sell better in the collector section, you know, where young adults shop and they recognize the brand. It's instant brand recognition, and kids don't like, to be honest, they don't want to carry around like a little black and white like game, you know, to them that's like old. So,
Yeah.
I definitely
I don't
think
know exactly what they think kids want. I feel like the market for Tamagotchi is like really young kids, you know. They have to be so young they can barely even play with the toy.
yeah, they haven't been spoiled into the iPad yet.
Yeah, and then
well,
like people who are nostalgic for it like us.
I think like if they put it in the collectibles section, it would be great because kids go in there too. Like kids play video games and kids there's like a lot of Pokemon stuff in like the collectibles section of Target, and so kids go over there anyway. So kids
Yeah.
kids and adults would see it. And I think kids still like the idea because I actually got my fiance's little cousin is I think she turned 6 this year and she loves Gudetama and I actually got her one and she loved it. Like she was like totally into it and
Aw.
yeah, so I think kids nowadays I think when they look at a black and white LCD like that, I think to them it doesn't even like register as the same thing as like the screens that they look at now because like for us it was an evolution or
I
a
mean, it's
progress
true.
from
I'm not giving kids enough credit. They think retro shit is cool.
I see a lot of I mean, I don't want to say brats, but brats at GameStop. And they're
Oh,
like they see
God.
the PS1 and they're like that old
That's
thing?
true.
You guys are selling that?
I feel like it's just like there is a divide.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are some kids that would appreciate it. I see some cool ones too. Some cool kids.
I think like kids whose parents enjoy older video games and that kind of thing will enjoy it. You know, if the parents are like, "Oh my God, I had one of those when I was a kid," and then the kids are like, "Oh, my parents had this. This is kind of cool. Like I'm playing with something that they played with." Or at least that's how I felt when I was a kid. If like anything got like my mom would talk about things that she played with as a kid, and then I would be like, "Oh, my mom used to have that." Then it seems like cooler to me, you know?
Yeah, I do like this idea of like kind of harkening back to things. I'll be damned if my kid doesn't at least get exposed to the stuff that I was, you know, a fan of when I was a kid. Now whether they like it or not, you know, that's up for debate, but
Back to the EV Nano, which is, you know, I mean, I think that would be so different because everyone plays Pokemon. Pokemon is very relevant. And then like a lot of people remember Tamagotchi and the new kids have been playing with it because the Chibi and then the Gudetama and the P1 and P2 like more kids have been exposed to them.
Yeah.
So I think like for a lot of kids, it would be like this new toy Tamagotchi that I've been playing with, and then a Pokemon on top of that. Oh my God, I totally want it, and everybody would want it. It's the same thing with I mean, people were freaking out about it and losing stocks of the Japanese one because everyone wanted it. So
And
I think it would do well. I don't think that's the issue. It's just like the
Oh, I don't think
licensing.
that's the problem. I definitely think the licensing is the issue. But
Mhm.
it does, leave it open to speculation, like, because obviously, like, they're not going to even try to seek out licensing if they don't think there's a market share there. But I do think it would sell. I think that there's plenty of places that they could like possibly make it store exclusive to that would work really well.
Yeah, and I wonder if they tried. That's what I want to know is like if they did, because I know that they know. I mean, the Eevee Nano restocked, and that doesn't always happen with Japanese Tamagotchi releases. They don't always get a second stock because they want it to be like more exclusive and this and that. But I think they just made so much freaking money. They're like, oh my God, this thing is selling like crazy. We should make more and make more money.
Yeah.
So I I I wonder if the Pokemon Company in America like cares about that. And I mean, they make enough freaking money, so
I
maybe they don't care enough.
Well, yeah, I
and
still see people looking for them,
yeah.
in the
Mhm.
groups. And I was on Mercari, yesterday, and I saw that one sold for like $50 on there. I was like, well, I guess people are still buying them. So I think the
And
price of them's only bound to go up with this speculation. I don't anticipate it coming anytime soon, and I won't anticipate it coming until I see anything like even remotely official. I would
right.
hope. It would be nice.
And like in addition to the kids that played the recent like Tamagotchi releases, in addition to them there will be the kids that recognize Pokemon, and then they'll also be introduced to it. That brand recognition, like your niece, did you say, or cousin, with the Gudetama, she loves
Yeah.
Gudetama, so she was like, oh, this is cool because it's Gudetama. So that would be cool if they did do it, but
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes me think that like Bandai America definitely is gonna try for it if they haven't already, because like that would be a huge brand recognition thing. Like you said, like it would introduce all these American children to Tamagotchi if they hadn't already been exposed to it.
Mm,
Like all the kids who like Pokemon would be like, "Oh, this is cool. What is this?" And then maybe look it up more, and then maybe release whatever Bandai is planning next. And hopefully they are planning something. But speaking of like merchandise type stuff, Tama Palace also said that a bunch of new Tamagotchi themed merchandise is going to be released in the USA very, very soon. So we're talking like socks, and I think a lot of you guys have seen the socks. I think they've been released in the UK already.
yeah,
Yeah, I
in the
think
Um,
UK.
people were finding them at Primark.
yeah, and like those giant squishy things. It's like shaped like a Tamagotchi, and it has a little character, a pixelated character in there, and they're just those giant squishy things.
I
um,
really want the squishy. I've been checking like GameStop upcoming like up for pre-orders like Tamagotchi recently ever since they said that that stuff is coming out, because sometimes small stuff like that will come up for pre-order. Um but nothing yet, because we do have some squishies, but GameStop's a smaller store, so it definitely could just be at like a bigger store if they do release that stuff. But I would definitely get the squishy.
I think I would. I'm not a big fan of collectible stuff like that.
hmm
I mean, it's really cute, but like I wouldn't buy it. I think I'd rather buy like the socks. Those
Yeah.
look really cute.
I
Um,
just like they're so like, I don't know if you've like squeezed the squishies before, but like they're so like, that's why I love Squishmallows. I don't know if you've seen those, but it's so like
Hmm.
fun to play with, kind of just have on your desk.
I think this is a good sign in general. Like we're getting more merchandise. So the brand is obviously doing well. So hopefully we will get more actual Tamagotchi releases. Crossing our fingers. And speaking of a virtual pet release, official photos of the 20th anniversary Digimon have been released on eBay Games with a street date of July 5th, which is actually my birthday. Holla. But I am really super excited about this. Tama Palace actually claims that the gameplay will be identical to the Japanese 20th anniversary Digimon, and I actually messaged them because I wanted to make sure that, it's legit what they're saying, because that's a big claim to make. Like, how do you know that it is going to be the anniversary edition with all the different eggs and the in-game battling and the jogress or whatever, all those different features that the 20th anniversary has, because that's a big difference between like version 1 re-release, like what we got with the P1 and P2 Tamagotchi. So it would just be kind of disappointing if they made this claim and like it didn't happen. So I messaged them on Instagram, and they told me that they actually have a contact with Bandai and that claim is legitimate. So, I mean, of course, we won't really know for sure until it's actually released. But I mean, that's kind of a big claim to make. You have a contact with Bandai. I don't think that they would lie.
I mean, I'm sure that they will start like marketing for it pretty soon. I mean, if it's gonna be out July 5th, they should tweet about it or something, say like next month. I mean, not like maybe in June they'll say like next month this is out or something like that. So hopefully we get more information a little bit sooner than when it's released, but we'll see how they decide to do it.
Tama Palace actually made a post about these V-Pets showing up at a toy fair. And if you look at the image, it's on With the Will also, which is like a Digimon fan site. But if you zoom in on the image, the Digivices that are on display at the toy fair have the icons of the 20th anniversary V-Pets. I think the additional icons are the tournament icon where you can battle Digimon in game, and the book icon, which shows other Digimon that you have connected with, which the vintage V-Pets did not have. So
that's solid info.
Right. So that sounds really good to me. I know I've talked to people on Discord, and like some people are still skeptical, which I totally understand, because like you don't want to get your hopes up and then be massively disappointed. But
yeah, I'm skeptical, but I'm hopeful.
Right. There's a piece of me that's holding on to it being a V1 re-release just in case, so I don't be completely heartbroken. I mean, regardless, I'm excited, even if it is just a V1. That's fine. But also they are marketing it or describing it as a 20th anniversary Digimon on eBay Games. And I think if, with the Tamagotchi P1 and P2 release, they called it Tamagotchi Original. So it was just, nothing was different.
Well, EB Games is just GameStop, right?
Yeah, but in Canada.
But GameStop, it's listed as Digimon Digivice Assorted, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's not even that specific. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I'm also, gonna be skeptical so that I'm not disappointed. I will say though, on these like mock-ups or these photos, they're not mock-ups. I'm guessing they're pictures of the actual devices. I'm looking at the yellow one specifically because I have a yellow V1, and the color of the shell is a little off in this picture. Like, it's not neon. So I'm hoping that they actually look a little different in person, because I'm not a huge fan of the, like, I don't know, the colors look a little dull in the photo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they always look different in person.
Of course they,
yeah.
I mean, and monitors, all monitors are different, but the yellow is off enough that I'm like, oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, what color is yours?
Mine's like very neon.
One. Oh, yours could be like not the original yellow color. It could be like a neon yellow that they released later, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Probably gonna look a little bit different with the colors, but
Yeah, I think
I mean, obviously these are like reproductions, so it's like not going to be exact. We know that already from the
from the
Tamagotchi
Tamagotchis.
P1 P2 re-releases. For some
Mhm.
reason I feel like they're just gonna look a little worse, but I
The
don't I
sound
don't
might be
know.
a little off. We'll see.
That's sad. I mean,
I'm hopeful though. I do like the little packaging. It is different. It's just got an open window instead of the flap that like the original packaging had. Which is good because saves cardboard. But
right. And it's similar to what they did with the P1 and P2. Like the P1 and P2 originally had a flap, and then
they just took that
um
away. It was kind of just like the interior of the packaging.
right, but then the packaging looks similar enough that people who bought them in the 90s would recognize it. It's very iconic and very 90s-esque, I would say. Now that I think about it, I have the English navy blue V1, and I think mine actually, like the photo we have pulled up, which you can see on eBay, ebgames.com or whatever. Um, it the buttons look darker gray than mine. Mine, the original one, it had like a lighter border and lighter gray buttons. So I guess maybe they took some artistic liberty or something with.
Yeah, I also have the like gray, like the slate gray one.
Hmm.
And I don't know. They do just look a little different. But
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
that's
not mad
okay.
about it.
Yeah.
As long as it as long as it plays okay, I'm okay. But
Yeah.
we'll
I'm
see, I
hoping
guess. I have
I'm
two pre-ordered.
same. I'm gonna get the yellow for sure. I can't decide if I want the blue or the gray or maybe the red. I don't, or the brown. It looks, I don't know. It's like reddish brown.
I
Um,
guess I'll decide when I see them in person, but I'm probably gonna go for the red and the navy because I have the slate and the yellow of the original.
right. I mean, I have the slate in the Japanese VPET 20th anniversary, and I have the navy blue of the English V1, but I don't love the brownish red color, so I might just
Yeah,
get
that
another
brick.
gray. Yeah. We'll see though. I mean, it might be better in person, but I really like the look of the yellow. I'm definitely gonna get a yellow.
I love the yellow. I'm definitely gonna try to grab the yellow for sure. I like the gray too, but I'll probably just grab one, especially since I think it'll connect to the ones I currently have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only getting two because Kevin's actually interested in having one himself. So
Yeah. Elijah too. I
battle
hope
my
he gets.
husband.
I know some people are skeptical, especially because of the price point. Like it's $20, which seems kind of low considering it has so much more content than like a V1 or V2 or whatever. Um, and that was the same price point as the P1 and P2 Tamagotchi. But I think, the price could go up. Like when I pre-ordered from GameStop, I pre-ordered the English Gudetama with a case from GameStop, and it only charged me $20, and then later it changed to 25.
Hmm.
So I think that it could potentially go up. Hopefully not too much more, because I think people aren't going to spend like $30 on a Digimon,
Yeah.
and
I
I don't
mean,
want to
it's
get
an
charged
entirely
more.
different market here. So, like, while the Digimon are, like, like highly collectible and sought after pets in Japan, I don't know if the virtual pet market here is like, saturated enough for them to set that high of a price point and people will still buy in. Because I'll be honest, like, I haven't been super impressed by any of the re-releases, like any of the American re-releases thus far. So I don't want to spend too much money, buying into this, and then ultimately I don't even care for it all that much.
Right, I get that. I think like the Digimon community worldwide is pretty big and
Oh, I
very,
agree with that entirely. I
yeah,
do think that Digimon is definitely not fallen off in any like way. It's still a very popular franchise worldwide.
Right. So I think in America these will do well enough, and then people will want, especially if it's a 20th anniversary version, people will want those, like collectors will want them, so, and then people will see them in stores and remember it from their childhood. Oh my God, I used to love Digimon. I'll buy one, Same thing with Tamagotchi as usual. Um, my guess is that since it's such a lower price point, I want to say uh, the Japanese 20th anniversary Digimon were like $40 originally, or 35. I might be wrong, but my guess is that since the price point is so much lower, they might be sacrificing some build quality, maybe, which is disappointing. But I mean, we
Not
saw it,
surprising though.
right? We saw it with the P1 and P2. What are you gonna do? I mean, that those paint jobs were terrible. To me, they felt lighter and not as solid. The
And I felt
screen.
like they also sounded just,
Oh yeah, I had some that
you
were
know,
screechy and horrible. I think the pixels were not as dark. So that's one thing I'm a bit worried about, is that since if they are actually 20th anniversary and the price point is lower, the build quality might not be as good.
I guess
Yeah,
we'll just have
definitely.
to wait and see.
One question for you, Destiny, since you work at GameStop. Like, if you pre-order something at GameStop and then the price jumps up, if you pre-ordered it at a $20 price and then it jumps up to 25 when you go to pick up your item, do you have to like pay more? Or do
Yeah,
you?
so you'll have to pay the
Aw,
price
man.
it is at pickup. So if it went up in price, then at pickup you'll have to
Pay the
pay that extra.
difference.
Yep.
Damn it. I thought I was gonna get lucky because they didn't do it with the when I ordered it online. So, damn
Yeah,
it.
when you order online, did you pay for it like fully, or you don't
Yeah.
get charged until? Okay. Yeah, that was probably why. Because it's like
Yeah.
at time of like the purchase, however much it is, sometimes stuff like on release, it happens like during a sale and you actually pay less, which is
Right.
cool when that happens. But yeah.
Well,
And
damn.
then, so more news. There was the Sumiko Garashi AR camera device that was recently posted on Amazon Japan. Actually, it just recently went up on Prime. It wasn't originally, and it has a release date of June 22nd. Reminds me of a mix between the original Sumiko and the pre-shot. I'm pretty excited for it, but it doesn't look as cute as the original one, to be honest, just because I don't like the camera feature. But I think I'll still try it out. What do you guys think?
I just don't know if the AR camera feature is like the crux of the device,
Yeah.
or if there is like a lot of gameplay outside of that, because honestly, I don't want them in my like apartment. My apartment look like shit.
I know. The picture like that they used, like the background looks all nice with like these plants and books. I'm like, my place doesn't look like that.
Exactly. It
Right.
would just be like my dirty floor with like
You
my
know?
cat screeching in the background.
Which, by the way, have you guys been hearing my cat? Because she's been running around holding a Nerf ball, like getting her foot stuck in a shoe. And I'm
Oh
like
my gosh. I haven't
trying to
been
mute.
hearing anything super crazy, but
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
If it's like the pre-shot, I'm not that into it, I guess. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, "Oh my God, I love the house shape." The color is like meh.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
I like the little. So someone on Discord said that it reminded them of like 2000s like Nintendo DS Lite era, kind of, where like cameras on stuff was the new thing.
I saw a comment like that too. Taking selfies with the DS, taking selfies with the iPod Nano. Then
Yeah, exactly. So it
yeah.
seems like the camera on it isn't going to be that good. So that automatically makes it feel a little bit dated. Hopefully the camera on it would be better than the pre-shot because that was released a long time ago. And I think I read somewhere, someone, I might be totally wrong, but I think someone transcribed or translated the promotional artwork or whatever, and said that the AR might only be used to like make the background different for your character. I don't think it's as dependent on the gameplay or for the gameplay as the pre-shot maybe. I could be wrong. Don't listen to
That
me.
would be cool because you could kind of like make something as like a backdrop and then, you have a custom background. I think that'd be really cool. Like,
Yeah, and
not
then
really as a gameplay sort of thing, but
also in that artwork or promotional thing, like there's a photo and it's like a little Japanese kid with like a little border around it. So I think it's kind of maybe a more creative thing, like you said, like um, just to have something else to do within the pet, maybe,
Mhm.
hopefully. Honestly, I have my Sumiko. I played it once and I haven't really given it like my full attention. I think maybe it's not one of those things that really needs your full attention, but I'm that kind of person who wants to like really sit down and explore all the features and blah blah blah. But I have thought about selling it, but I can't because the characters are too cute. So when this one came out, I was like, "Ah, man, like am I going to buy it?" Like it's so cute that I definitely am going to buy it, but
I don't
like
think I'm gonna get it. I don't think it's for me. Admittedly, pretty much decided I'm gonna sell my Sumiko Atsume, so that's yeah. It's just because like it's really cute, and I love the Sumiko Garashi characters. They're all freaking adorable, but it's just too like idle for me. It's just like some little games. I'm sure if I was younger, I would appreciate it more. And it is something that I'd like to have around, like when I'm watching kids and stuff, because I can hand it off to them and, explain really quick, like, hey, you use this to go through and you use this, and then you can shake it. And there you go.
right.
And they have a great time and it's cute. I love the replaceable faceplates. Like it's a well engineered device, but it's just not what I want out of like a digital toy, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Like I get the feeling of like I wish I was younger because I would enjoy this more. But I love the way it looks. I love the little buttons. I love like the characters. I can't resist it. So I know I'm gonna buy this one. And that's that's it. And hopefully what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and play the Sumiko I have now and give it more of a chance and actually like complete the collection.
yeah,
So
it's nice to have as a little side game. Sometimes I tend to forget about those types of things, and then I always try to go back to them. But at least like they don't die, and it'll save all your progress, so you could always go back to it. It's more like a little game, really, but I enjoy it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it for what it is. And I love the characters, so I can't, like I said, I can't resist it. I
They're
need to give it
just
another
so cute.
chance. Yeah, yeah, it's just
I
like a
love the
cute little
little
game.
the little dust guy. I actually have a charm of him. All right. So next news, there is the Hoppy Chan Sanrio game, which I don't know if you guys played the Hoppy Chan device. It's one of my favorite like collectathon sort of color screen games. But they're actually coming out with the Hoppy Chan Sanrio Switch game, and originally I think it was supposed to come out like it would have came out like a few days ago now, but they delayed it to July 11th. Nothing too exciting though. Hello Kitty games, especially on the Switch, don't tend to be that great, but I think I might still try it out just because I really love Hoppy Chan and maybe they helped them out with the games. But I don't know if you guys played Hello Kitty Cruisers.
Oh no.
Oh. It's not great. I mean, it does its job. It's a racer, but there's no shadows. It looks like it was made in paint or something.
Oh God.
I played it all the way through until I unlocked Cinnamoroll, and then I sold it. I was like, I've had enough. I'm just gonna play Mario Kart.
Yeah, don't fix it if it ain't broke.
So yeah, that's just a quick little mention. And then I just wanted to mention the Ditto Mini we talked about earlier. Usually that's not in stock very often, but at the moment it is in stock. So if you wanted to pick up yourself a Ditto Mini set, it is dittomini.com, and then they have a link to purchase Those, I think they have like 6 left, so not very many, but they also don't tend to sell pretty quick. I think when it first came out, it sold like probably the most people that were looking out for it because they get the emails that it's back in stock already got theirs. So there's a few left on there if you guys were interested.
All right, so moving on to our theme of this episode, which is like, in my opinion, like a big deal amongst Tamagotchi collectors, which is color Tamagotchis versus vintage type Tamagotchis. So, like color screens versus vintage pixels, the gameplay, and that kind of thing. So, we asked for feedback from our followers on our social media, and we actually conducted a Facebook poll. And according to that poll, we had 212 total votes, and color Tamagotchis won out by 58% with 122 people voting. So I think, 58, that's still, it's over. I mean, it's definitely not, what am I trying to say?
It's not a landslide win.
Yeah.
It wasn't a unanimous decision.
Right. It's
but
still,
the decision
and
was-
it's close. It's close enough to like half and half is what I'm trying to say.
And I will
think.
say, I think like 1 or 2 people commented on the poll saying, I voted the wrong thing. I wanted to pick vintage. So maybe it's like 57%. But
Right.
either way, colors edged out vintages just slightly. And I think that's reflected in the feedback that we got as well. But a lot of people had great things to say about vintages, obviously.
Right. Before we get into it, do we want to talk about which one we prefer?
Sure. I don't know. It's kind of a changes with the day thing for me personally, but I think currently I've really been into the color models, really been loving them. And I don't know, I love the variety. There's so much you can do with them. I love the connectivity, especially with this current generation and the applications that we have. It's awesome. So I'm just really loving this like modern era of Tamagotchi. I've got love for all things, and I really do like vintage pixels, so it's hard for me to choose. And that was another thing. There were quite a few comments, and we didn't actually put this as an option in the poll, but there were quite a few comments that said, I can't choose. I love them both. So I will say that there's some people that, are really split on how they feel, and I'm one of those.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm really split. Right now though, I am preferring the colors. They've been really fun lately. Getting, also because they're new, more stuff to like explore and learn about them, and there's also just a lot to do. They kind of feel like little games as well as pets. But I do every so often want to run a vintage, less often than the connections, but more so the connections. And I do enjoy the depth and the quirks of the connections. But right now I'm almost always running a color. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
I think for me, if I had to choose which one I'll play forever, like if I had to choose like a connection versus a color model, I'm always going to go connection. Or vintage even. Like I just kind of prefer the simplicity and the aesthetics too. Like I think sometimes the color models are a bit too gaudy for me, and like a bit too, I mean, I really enjoy like the pixel art in the color models is amazing, but I think like I'm more fascinated with like how the vintage and connection models kind of had such a limited medium, if you will, with just the black and white. So the way that they were able to make these characters look so cute, and like the different items, you can still tell what they are. I think that's kind of like really interesting and amazing that, it's literally like black and white pixels, like little blocks, and they made something really cute out of that. And it's not just the aesthetic, obviously, like the gameplay, gets a bit overwhelming for me sometimes with the color models, and it feels like you said, it feels more kind of like a game, like a video game kind of more than like a actual pet, which I appreciate and I understand. Like to keep up with modern technology, the Tamagotchis had to get more complex. Like I understand that, but like in terms of what I enjoy the most, I always love vintage type pet.
I do love like the item animation and like costumes on the connections. Well, costume I know on the Music Star. I don't know if the other ones have them, but I don't. They have like their own artistic style, and they're just so cutesy, like in a way that the color items aren't. And I don't really know how to explain it, but they're just really cute.
Yeah, it's like the simplicity that makes it cute,
Mhm.
I think, for
Yeah.
me. And like obviously like color tamas are very limited compared to like our phones, right? Like with the graphic capability, I guess you can call it. It's still pixels of color, but compared to like vintage and connection era pets, that is like way ahead, you know? So,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's like they had to make the image like less condensed so you can kind of see more what it is. So it's kind of like a bigger, like it sort of makes the items kind of, I don't know, like bigger so you can read what they are. Whereas the colors, they kind of look like just a little picture of it, like which I mean what it is, but
yeah.
yeah.
But I get what you mean that like,
Mm,
the pixel art has to be a little larger so that we can pick up the detail in the color because otherwise it's just like a colorful blob.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of fun, like when you're running like an Uratama or, any connection error, let's say, and like you see an item and you're like, what the hell is that? Like you have to like guess what it is instead of like already knowing, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just kind of something fun
I've
or
always
something funny.
loved the items that have just been left open to interpretation, and it's like everyone just thinks it's a different thing, you know? Well, we asked you guys for like your thoughts on this, topic, on this question, and a lot of you guys had a lot to say, and I would say that there were some like echoing thoughts amongst people. So it was really interesting to see the similarities amongst the feedback that we got from you guys. Um, on Instagram, we got some feedback from Bunichi, who said, I like color pixels better as they allow for more detail, and color is just a nice touch. However, I think vintage characters were a lot more creative and appealing in their designs. And this is why I love the 20th anniversary mix. It has those fantastic old characters designs in all their beautiful, colorful glory. In terms of gameplay, I like vintage Tama's best. However, the only color screen Tama I really like is the plus color. I think the simple gameplay and charm of the vintages always wins for me. And Gotchi Boy also said, I have always loved vintage Tamas. I feel like they have more character and the simplicity is very charming. So they both had, similar things to say. And I agree with these sentiments that I really think the simplicity of some Tamagotchis is what makes me love them. It's why I really like the Angel. It's just so satisfying to run. It's cute, it's simple, and I don't know, the even just the little, I don't know, the pixels are very endearing. It's simple and I like it, and they're also able to communicate like, a lot with just, black on white or black on gray, I guess. The negative space is able to convey, shape and form, and I really do like those designs as well. So it's funny that they say they really like the plus color because I feel like that's just like a color vintage or like a
Mhm.
color, yeah, a
I
color.
love it for that reason. I just love that one of my favorite aspects of it is that the character will go all up close, and it also has Shima Shamachi, and that's like my favorite Tamagotchi character. So like seeing his little face like come all up close to the screen, it reminds me of a connection, and it's really like a color like vintage sort of. And I like running something simple like that and then also having it in color. That's kind of nice. And I like the plus color for that reason.
That makes me feel like I should get a plus color again because I had one and I never ever played it. And I love vintage and connection type pets like I said, but I never really got into that one for some reason. I think maybe it's the design. I don't really like the look of it, honestly. The big like bubbly front and then the flat back and then like the screen gets really scratched. I don't know, but but I agree with what Bonichi said with the that the vintage characters are more creative in their designs because like I was saying, like you're just so limited with black and white, and then you have to be creative and really, to make it look cute and to make it look
Different.
uniform. Yeah.
Like to
Um,
make the characters unique, you really have to do something, a little, I guess, outlandish or creative in the design. So I can see that as well. And I do feel like as time has gone on, Tamagotchi characters have become like more and more humanoid, and I don't love that. I like
Same.
the idea that they're little alien creatures. I don't want them to look like little people.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Because then it's like it's not really a pet. It's more like I mean, we've talked about this before, like a doll or a purse or a little baby or something. I don't know. Like, I mean, I like the different features on the color models. Like the stuff on the meats is really good, and then obviously like being able to connect via the app and stuff that wouldn't really be available on a black and white device, I don't think. I mean, unless they can make a black and white device Bluetooth compatible, which would be really cool. But
Putting the codes in, like that was close enough. I mean, you're still getting the items and everything. Like from Tama Town, I thought that was always fun. Just a different way of inputting it where you have to put in the code instead of like connecting your device. I think the characters are also like quirkier because again about like the enlarging like they kind of have to exaggerate for it to be readable like as the black and white pixels. I also think that's definitely a component.
talking about like vintage pixels, I think the some of the most amazing pixel work is like in Digimon V Pets because like Digimon, if you look at the artwork of them, they're all crazy and you know have so much detail, and then they have to shrink it down into these little bitty black and white you know blobs, and like they still somehow capture the essence of those characters, and I think that's really amazing with you know I mean taking something that's so complex and putting it into such a little tiny space with a very limited medium. I think it's amazing.
It is like I told you earlier that I got the like tiger character and like you can actually see all the little stripes and then with the wings you could see all the little indents in the wing and it was still like on a really small screen and that's really impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly don't know how they do it. Like I've always
I
thought
know.
about like trying to make pixel art, and I'm like, I have no idea how to even begin. you know Dandy Crocodile on Discord wrote in that I'm a huge fan of vintages for the simple yet deep gameplay, more challenging evolution trees, and the adorable pixel art. Me too, dude. Me too. While color Tamas are fun, there's a certain nostalgic quality that black and white vintage Tamas have. Their weird, choppy, quirky movements across the screen and exaggerated actions like eating make them feel goofier than modern Tamas that seem to lean more toward being cute. Like I read this and I was like, do you live in my brain? Because like I couldn't agree more. Like the weird choppy quirky movements thing, I was like, that's so right. Like it's just funny to see this little like, and I think it's also nostalgic for me, like the little seeing your little character like dance across the screen, and it's just kind of like it's not trying to be a human, it's not trying to be a real animal, it just kind of is what it is. Like I enjoy like the ugly cute type things, so having things look a little bit funny or goofy instead of trying to be like perfect and cute all the time, I enjoy that more in a virtual pet.
I was at the location in the meets and it's related to the character design and being like humanoid. And I was I forget which one. I think maybe like the farm or something, but it looked like a couple, like a girl and a guy, and they looked so humanoid. And I looked at it and I was just looking at the art and I'm like, I feel like I'm looking at like a knockoff pet right now, like seeing the humanoid ones. I
Yeah.
definitely like the character like design more like for animal looking ones or like aliens or like Tamagotchis. But the humanoid ones are weird.
That kind of happened more so with like the peas, I want to say, or maybe the IDL kind of started the more humanoid looking characters, maybe. Well, I know like the really girly humanoid ones are like Yume Michi and Kira Ricci, which started with the peas. I don't know. I mean, that kind of just changed the whole vibe of the pet for me. And like, I remember really enjoying the peas, but like, it's not the same as it's really hard to compare color models with connection and vintages because it just feels like a different game sometimes or different toy, I guess. Yeah, right, sure on Discord wrote in saying, I prefer the black and white screen Tamas, not specifically because they're black and white, but because the gameplay was just different. Starting with the Ps, the color versions began feeling less like a virtual pet and more like a companion dress-up game. Evolving on the color versions doesn't feel as fluid, and I'll try to explain what I meant by that, or what I mean by that. The color artwork of each character sort of breaks the illusion that the characters are evolving based on care. For example, you can easily imagine Ringochi, I don't know, morching. Oh my God, my brain.
He's marching.
Marching. And you can easily imagine Ringochi morphing into Memechi on a connection because both are just a collection of black pixels. However, trying to imagine the same morphing process for the color version of Ringochi and Memechi looks a lot uglier and doesn't feel as natural. The mix slash meets has a similar dress up game problem in that you are choosing the physical characteristics of the next generation, and care misses really don't have an impact. I like having a little loss of control in a virtual pet. I don't like being able to always choose my evolution outcome, which is why the V2 is great. The V2 doesn't let you perform on command close ups with the C button. You have to wait until your Tom is happy and feels like acting cute. It just feels like a more like an independent creature when you don't have so much control. I totally agree with this as well.
Some really
I
good.
just, oh yeah, I mean, like when he talked about like the morphing thing and like you can imagine it's easier to imagine like the black pixels morphing into another shape, but it's still black pixels. That makes a lot of sense. Like I never really thought about it that way. I was like, huh, like I guess the magic of it evolving is kind of taken away when you think, oh, it went from this apple into a giant orange blob with a curl on its head. Like it doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, it's like completely different. It's like almost like you lose that connection when you feel like you're taking care of something totally different. You're like, sometimes I really like the teen character and I'm like, oh, I love it. And then it evolves and it's like ugly and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You are not my child.
It's not the same. It's
who
not the
are
same.
you? Who have you become? I also agree with the whole color Thomas feeling like a dress up game, and the mix and meets is kind of like that as well. And I didn't really think about that until reading this, and I was like, huh, I guess that is kind of true. Like instead of actually physically dressing up your character with like clothes or a headdress, not a headdress, a hat or something, you're choosing physical characteristics, which in a way is kind of like dressing up, but just kind of different. And it's more random. But I also agree that the V2 is awesome. If you don't have a V2, you should get one because they're way better than all the other connections or the English connections, in my opinion.
I do really like them evolving based on care as well. Like, instead of choosing everything kind of seems more, again, like a game, sort of like an RPG or something, like a little baby RPG, Tamagotchi. But so I picked a comment from Waddle.deep on Instagram. He said, he or she, I'm not sure. As for aesthetic, I prefer the color screens, but to be honest, I really like the vintage ones. The character designs were so weird and wacky, but in a glorious way. A lot of the modern Tamas are cute and all, but that's just that. They don't exactly have the same strange, almost cryptid creature anymore, like with Zuchi and Zachi in the P2. But that's understandable as the Tamagotchi was meant for a female demographic. LMAO. So I definitely, I definitely think they went for a more female demographic for sure as time went on. Like the connections, they sort of had the boy shells and the girl shells, and they had like characters that both kids would like, or all kids would like. But as time went on, especially like with the peas, it got so girly, and I think that's definitely how the humanoid type characters came about, so you can like dress them up and stuff. Definitely agree that the vintages and connections were so weird and wacky because of the exaggerated features, and that's what makes them so cute. So this one's sort of like a mixed comment. I feel like liking both of them for different ways. And then Maple on Discord said, I want to say overall I prefer color Tamas as there's just so much more content to and things to do on them, especially recent models that have downloadable games and items, etc. I do get in the mood to run a vintage model every now and then, though, when I want something simpler, as they have so much nostalgic charm to them. Admittedly, I missed the connection era entirely and only learned about them through the online Tama community, so I have trouble getting into them since they have less content than color models, but lack the nostalgia factor of vintages. Um, there's a lot of nostalgia factor for me in connections personally, but overall, I pretty much agree with this. There's just a lot of like different games. It's fun to download so many like different games on the colors, just to try out all the games that people have created or that Bandai has made. Definitely that the nostalgic charm on the older ones as well. So both kind of mixed comments, as I can't decide a favorite like
I
definite
feel like
like a
everyone
definite
kind of
favorite,
felt
you
that
know.
way, you know? I feel like we forced them to choose and nobody wanted to choose.
Like, all of them, all of the above. Why not both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, I mean, Waddle.D kind of brought up a good point, like transformation of Tamagotchi kind of changed as the demographic changed. I feel like, Tamagotchi originally, if you look at all the shell designs, they're not all girly. They're kind of like a mixed bag of, some girly ones and some more boyish ones. So I feel like the Tamagotchi toy originally was kind of marketed towards everybody, and then it kind of more slowly became marketed towards a female demographic, which is kind of disappointing, I think, for our male fans out there. And I mean, like, me personally, like, I don't always love a super girly toy. I don't. I mean,
Agreed.
Yeah.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I like the gaudy, sparkly stuff, but sometimes I don't. Like right now, I've been running my Digimon, and I really like that it's a bit more grungy, maybe, or a bit more rough around the edges and
Rugged.
more, yeah, rugged and ugly, and
Because it's ugly.
like ugly cute. Like I'm all about ugly cute. I love that.
Yeah, I do think that I agree. I want a toy that like occasionally I don't want to carry around this glitterly. Yes. New term. Let me tell you.
2000s word, literally.
But I don't always want to carry around a glittery, little toy. Sometimes I want something that's a little more, unisex, a little more androgynous. I'm already carrying around a fucking toy. Why does it have to look like it's made for a 10-year-old girl? Yeah. Because I know that it's not just 10-year-old girls playing them, and that's why I appreciated some of the different iterations, like the For You, which was obviously targeted towards an older female demographic, so it didn't have these like super cutesy features to it in its shell design, and it had interchangeable face plates so that you could customize it, because as an adult, why wouldn't you,
Yeah, and they also
Right.
have like the comic book like faceplate and stuff like that. For
And the
You,
space
massive
one.
like, yeah, that's like one of my favorites. And looking at it from that angle, I can totally see maybe that's a contributing factor towards that. I really like that one. So, and especially like the farming and stuff too, like the gardening. anything with gardening. I love it.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad that they brought that back with the meats, like being able to farm or whatever. Like, I mean, it's such a cute little feature. I love it.
I
And
know.
it's like you're nurturing something else, like you're I don't know.
Your pet has a pet and a garden,
Yeah. So it's
and
like,
you oversee it all.
yeah. And you're the
I,
lord of the land and you take care of everything.
I'm a big fan of like this. I don't know why. Maybe I want to be a farmer. I know I don't actually want to be a farmer. Being a farmer is hard work, but like,
Pretending.
but I'm from Alabama, so like I know that farming's not like what everyone thinks farming is. It's actually hard work. But yeah, I would love to be a farmer on a low key. You know, I would love to have like a herb garden and like, you know, maybe grow some turnips. So the fact that I could do it with my Tamagotchi is ideal.
Yeah, it's like you feel like you're kind of doing it, but you're not really doing the hard work, dirty part. You're not sweating out in
That's
a
why
field
everyone loved
somewhere.
Farmville, man. Everyone wants the farm without the farming, you know?
Yeah.
Stardew Valley,
Harvest Moon.
Harvest
uh,
Moon, yeah.
Animal Crossing, all the good stuff.
Oh man. I can't wait. I need new Animal Crossing, but that's for a different show. We can make a whole new show about that.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God.
Well,
But
moving into our namesake, I guess we should talk about the tea.
yes.
What is the freaking tea? Honestly, what is the freaking tea? This mix station.
Mm-hmm.
This mix station that went up for auction recently, ending at about $1,500.
Yikes.
I
Ugh.
mean, congratulations to whoever won it.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
mean,
just too rich for my blood. I also don't know where the fuck I would put a mix station in my apartment. Like,
I know you need like a whole little display for it to really do justice to it. I mean, to have a mixed station in your house, that's pretty cool.
call up all my
It's
Tama
a bit
friends, be
nuts,
like,
but
hey, you guys want to come over and hit up the mix
yeah,
station?
for real.
I mean, like, does it actually, to me, for me, I would never spend that much money on any Tamagotchi, no matter what it was. No offense to the person who bought it, like, really, congratulations. And I'm sure, like, you're really, really happy. But, like, does it actually, like, can you play with it? And can you get all the characters from all the different seasons, like, and all the different downloads? Like, is it really worth $1,500? Does it have all that content and, like, you know what I mean? I don't
I'll
know.
be honest, I ain't ever been to Japan. I've never used a station. I don't know how they work. I'm literally like full of swear words today. I'm really trying to hold it back now. I don't know how it works. So, yeah, that's a very valid question in my opinion. And that's why I would never buy something like this that's like meant for a store. I just don't know enough and I don't want to get screwed.
Right,
No, I've
exactly.
I've actually had a store deca. I forget like which like what it's called. But it was the red one, and it connects to like connections, and basically it had like sort of like a screensaver as like the like what it automatically did all the time. So it was kind of like a cute little screensaver, and then it had some games, and then after the games you could connect. So it's like similar to like the home decas, but sort of less involved than a home deca. From my experience with it, just because you just play the game, connect, and then you get the stuff. The mix station, I mean, I bet there's way more to it, but that's sort of like the general sense of it. You could get items and play games,
Well,
which
it's
now
just
you
that they
could
have
get
like
the items with my
seasonal
meats.
content, right? That was the whole
Um,
thing with the mix station that the content changed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I guess we're wondering is like is do you have to patch that in? Like what how the fuck how does that work?
I don't know. Maybe it's based on the date, but maybe because sometimes we have Sony in like fixing their stuff on our like display when I was working at a store with GameStop with a PS4 display. So maybe like Bandai comes in and like does like updates on it, but I don't know how they would actually do that. Maybe it's like all built in, I would assume, since it's
Yeah, I
just
don't know if it's
little.
like them receiving updates from a server. Is
Yeah.
it like you have to plug in a freaking USB and update it yourself? Like, I don't know. Is it just like an SD card? Like what? I don't know. I don't know enough about them, but I'm not saying like to undervalue it because a mix station is like not something that's for sale, you know? So
Yeah.
$1,500, I don't think that's actually like a wild price for what it is. This is something that was like supposed to be returned to Bandai and like I guess assumingly destroyed because mixes are not, available for retail sale anymore. But I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but more power to the person that spent all that money because those stations do look cool and it's like definitely a cool part of Tama history.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it had all the content, maybe it would be worth it, especially if like you really like the mix. But like, I don't know. If it only has like one season's worth of content, I would be like, meh,
Yeah.
not
I
so
don't know.
exciting. Yeah.
I would probably, if I ever got a station, I would want to get the Peas station.
That
So
one
pretty.
looks so cool.
So fucking pretty, dude.
Cute.
I have
What
no
is it?
reason for it. Like, I don't need it because, you can put so much content on it with a phone. So what's even the point? But just to have, it's so pretty. I don't need things just to have. I'm not going to buy a Peas station, but, in my ideal world, I
I
have
mean,
one.
like, does that one do anything anymore, or is that one obsolete now too?
I don't know. I don't know how they work, man.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, like,
I mean, I'm guessing it still powers on and runs. I just don't know, like, if it has all
Content.
the content. But it's definitely like a collector piece of history, a thing to have, like, as display, stuff like that. So it's cool. Not for us, but
Yeah, definitely cool.
moving on, Sanrio Meats pre-orders have seemed to run out entirely on Hobby Link Japan, Cutie Pie Kawaii, Amazon Japan, and if you see any, I guess resale eBay pre-orders, those prices are obviously on the rise. Um, I've already pre-ordered, thank God.
Thank
and
God.
and I am excited for this release, but I am also, I don't know, wary because I know that the moment this releases, I guess people are going to be reselling it for crazy price gougy numbers.
Yeah, I'm kind of
yeah.
excited to see what it's gonna fetch because it's gonna be rough out there, guys. If you haven't pre-ordered, I'm sorry. Like,
We apologize and we'll send you some tissues so you can wipe your tears.
I'm
yeah.
sure like after the initial launch, like where everyone, is trying to get one, and then after the restock, everyone who didn't get one gets one. It should be fine. I mean, you can still get like all of the meats like no problem on Amazon, so I don't see why Sanrio wouldn't be the same. I mean, they should expect more people to buy it since it is Sanrio, so hopefully they are prepared for that.
Yeah,
But
that's true. Like the pastel meats is still that one's not as popular obviously, but like it's still easy to get one like on Amazon or wherever. So, I mean, I'm sure there will be some, but I think it'll definitely sell out quicker than the other versions. And then like later on, like with the Sanrio, same thing with the Sanrio mix, like it became way more popular, or not that it became more popular, but it continued to be popular even
Yeah, it
after
just
it's
became more collectible over time.
right.
Especially
So
because at some point they will cease production of them. I would assume that yeah, this is going to it's already, sold out in pre-sale. And then I'm sure in store it's going to sell out. And then I would assume yeah, they probably will do a restock. Make that money, honey.
Or they're gonna do a frickin' they did the yellow regular Sanrio mix and then they did the pink one.
Oh,
Which I
fuck. I
like.
didn't even think about that.
Because there's only
Yeah.
one. Oh,
Yeah,
that
dude.
could happen.
Dude,
Yeah.
bro. You just blew my freaking mind because that did not occur to me even once. And I'm gonna
Oh.
be pissed
Oh,
if I
dude.
like the other shell better.
They're
Oh, if
totally
it,
gonna do it. You know they're gonna do it
yeah.
because they hate us and they want us to cry. So they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't even know. I'm really excited for this release. I'm just glad that I've already gotten it taken care of. I don't know what this is going to mean as far as, the value of the Sanrio mix, whether or not this is going to affect that, make it less or more valuable. So that'll be interesting to see. But definitely, you know, definitely gotta stay tuned and keep an eye on that because I'm sure people are going to be looking for those like crazy.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder like what color they would make another one though, because like the one that we have, the one that they made now is like reddish pink, like dark pink, right? And then I don't know if they would make a yellow one. That might be kind of cute. But like if they made like a green one with like a different faceplate, I would die. I would just
Green
die.
would be so cute. I'm
Green
not
would
like
be so cute.
super fond of the dark pink that they chose. So anything like pastel, I don't know if they would do light pink to match the Sanrio mix. Probably not.
I
And
would love like
yellows,
a pastel blue
yeah.
and
Oh,
white one,
Oh,
like
that would be
cinema roll kind
nice.
of colors.
Yeah. Or like if they made a black one, I would love that. But not gonna happen. But you can dream, right?
My wish is just that we'll get another spooky Tamagotchi,
I
but
know.
it's never gonna happen.
Well, I mean, like we could get some really nice meets characters to mix with during Halloween. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh my
I
gosh, I'm
need
so
I need
excited.
a little vampire bat character. I
Yeah,
I
or
need,
like
I need a little mummy.
yeah, a mummy. I was just thinking that. Like I don't want Frankenstein, ugh, don't need that. A werewolf, yes. A vampire, yes. Or a ghost. Oh my God, if they made a ghost, I would die. I would I would die and go to heaven. I really would. Moving on, recently an auction with a Tamagotchi ended at approximately 650 US dollars. I think what else was in that lot? I can't remember now.
It was a mixed. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. It was a mixed lot. I think it might have had like uh some connections in IDL or something like that, and the Gezi. It had probably about 6 pets. It was a UK auction. The seller was selling some other lots as well, but this particular lot had the Gezi in it, and I knew that it was going to blow up because the moment it got posted, there was like so many people talking about it in different groups. I was seeing it the link to the listing getting commented a lot. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's probably 1,000 people watching this right now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
obviously I was watching it. One day maybe I'll get one myself, but that was not the one for me. Because it just skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so sad because like some people might have been watching that and someone shares it, and it might have been like
Ah,
the seller secretly, like sharing it to get more attention on it. But like if that was just someone sharing it, it's like, oh man, like all those people probably bid that like saw it from the Facebook post, and I try not to like share stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that
Okay.
because
So
then
they had a couple of different lots that I was watching. One was like the Uniqlo Tamasuku, a the orange juice shell, a Tama Profi, and another Tamasuku. They had another lot that was like a pre shot and some connections. Um, I'm trying to find where's the Gezi lot. This one had Anna Pals and some other odd pets. This one has like the Nana Moon and a Angel Gotchi. Okay, dude, it also has that the Argos B5 shell. That was what was in the Gezi lot as well.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense because I know that one is like super popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then don't Gezzies go for like 200 or 300 maybe?
I don't
Ooh,
know.
They're
I don't
about
know.
200. I've seen them go for under 300 new, I think. It's
Yeah.
insane. I can't believe it.
But yeah, it
Yeah.
appears that there is like a V1, a V3, the Argo shell, a Friends, and the Gezi. That was what was in this lot. And it closed at US $655.95 with
Damn.
1312 shipping.
Whoa. Not even
Damn.
free shipping.
And let it be known, this is not a knock to the seller or the buyer of these items. You know, you're fully entitled to spend your money and sell your items for however much you want. And, you know, things are only as valuable or only worth as much as you think they are, you know? So if you're happy with the price that you paid, then, you know,
Yeah, that kind of
cares?
reminds me. That kind of reminds me of something that just happened yesterday. And I actually, his name's Jake, and he was in the traders group, I think. And I asked him if I could mention this, and like he posted in traders, and he was like, "Can someone tell me how much these Digimon are worth?" And my friend Stephanie tagged me, and like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Go on, sorry.
yeah. So one of them was both of them are English. One of them was a clear yellow Digimon V1. The other one, I didn't really know what it was at first because like I'd never really seen V6s around
Yeah.
and because they're hard to find, but
I saw
his
that thread after the fact and I saw your comment and I was like, "Oh, girl."
yeah. Because I was like, is that a V4? What is that? And it was actually a V6 and it's an Australian shell V6, which is apparently like mega rare. Because
Super
I was
rare.
like, I'd messaged him and I was like, hey, if you want to sell that, I'd be interested. Not really knowing what it was when I first messaged him, I was like, maybe I can work out a trade or something. But it turns out that it was worth way more than I even imagined, and he sold it for almost $600.
Yeah.
Dang.
And he had just had that in his collection and he had no idea. And I was like, dude, you're like sitting on a gold mine right now. And like I told him to ask around Discord, because there's like Digimon people in there who are more knowledgeable than I am. And they're like, yeah, this thing's worth a lot, dude. And like someone bought it from him on Discord like a few minutes later. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
I
Like,
saw him post it. I was like, "Oh my God." And then immediately afterwards someone's like, "Oh, I'm interested." I was like, "I know you interested."
yeah.
Oh
I
my
was like,
goodness
oh my
gracious.
God.
That's crazy though. It's so crazy. Once in a while some people will post something and they're like, "Oh yeah, I found this in my thing." And I'm like, "You found that? You just happened
Right? I
upon that.
know.
You just had
I
that?"
know. Like, where did I want to like magically not, I want something in my collection to be a magical item that is gonna bring me lots of money. Cause like he was like, I want to get like a Sumiko and a Digimon X, and I was like, dude, you're gonna have plenty of money now. You can buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, congrats to him, like selling it. I was like, damn, that's awesome.
Sometimes I'm like hard pressed to get rid of some of my items because I'm just like, maybe this is going to go up in value and I just need to keep it.
Yeah, that's what I
But
think.
that's so hard to determine, you know? You never
Exactly.
know how things are going to go. So, and that's another reason where it's like so hard for me to open things up, where I'm like, I should keep it sealed. It's worth more because it's sealed. And then I'm like, but you're a dumb bitch. This is a fucking toy. Just like open it up.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, I think what did I do that with recently? Oh yeah, the Tuma pets. I bought 3 of them and I was like, I'll play with one, I'll give one to my friend, and then I'll keep one sealed and like, wait until they go up in value or something. But then like the one I sent to my friend Stephanie didn't work, and so I sold her the one that I was going to keep. So I sold you the other one, Crystal. So like I just kind of gave up on it. I was like, whatever, I don't care. And if I really really want to get another one, I can get one right now, but who knows? Those seem more accessible than the Gezi was anyway. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe it'll be like the Gezi, but I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems a little bit different. I don't know. I think the Gezi was only on AliExpress or something. I might be wrong, but
Yeah, it
I'm
seemed
not
like
sure.
it was harder to get to begin with, maybe, or it was more limited anyway, and then production was cut off so quickly because Bandai or Sanrio or whoever shut it down.
And also, they didn't take PayPal, so a lot of people didn't buy it because of that reason, because AliExpress is shady sometimes.
Ooh,
So yeah, that was a thing.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you order stuff and it just never shows up. That's what happened to
Yep.
you, right? You
Yep.
ordered two and you only got one.
Yep.
That sucks. I would be so
I
mad.
know.
But so our last little sip of tea, or gulp, if you will, because this is a big one. A Conan ID recently sold for $2,827.23 on Yahoo Auctions Japan.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go throw up real quick.
Right? I mean, like, not worth it. So not worth it. I'm sorry. Like, if you bought it, I'm sorry. I don't want to make you feel bad. Like,
Once again, if you feel like it is worth that and you're happy with your purchase, who cares?
yeah. Yeah, if
It's
you're
only
happy,
worth as much as you think it is, and that's all that matters.
right. And obviously this was worth a lot to somebody, but I could not ever justify spending that much money. I mean, like, spending that much money to begin with is hard to think about. I don't spend that much money very often, if at all recently. Like, that's a lot of money. And then you're gonna
Yeah.
use it to buy a plastic egg that you clean its poop. I don't know. Not worth it for me. Not worth it. Sorry. Like, especially in terms of functionality, you can get an ID for like $25.
Yeah.
I don't think the Conan has anything special on it except that it's very, very pretty and very hard to find. It does The gameplay is the same. So like, not I can't I would not. No. No, no, no. No.
So I don't know. I think there is a Conan game on it, or is that just a fan-made game that you can download? Because I know there's a Conan game that you can download on the ID. I don't know if that's originally from the Conan ID. It's just so rare that
No
I'm
one
not sure.
knows.
Yeah.
No one knows what's on the dang thing. Um, I don't know. That's a good point. I think I've seen that Conan game before now that I think about it, but I don't know if that came from the Conan ID or if that was like maybe a download.
I'm straight up trying to like find out anything I can about the freaking Conan ID because honestly, I'm just like so dumb to this.
Yeah, I should have asked Laura. She's a big Conan fan, and I know she wants it, but she would never pay anything close to that.
What even is
But
Conan?
it's an anime.
Hmm.
Detective Conan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. I just haven't I remember looking this up a long time ago. I just haven't even thought about it because I don't really it's not really my thing, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen it myself. I don't really want to because then I might want the Conan ID.
Yeah, right? And then it's like, oh no. I mean, I guess if you're like a really huge Conan fan, I don't know if
Hmm.
Detective Conan is a big giant thing, but like maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's a pretty big popular anime.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty popular, and also, I mean, this Tama is really rare, so I
Yeah.
feel like it's just a really interesting intersection of interests.
yeah. Kind of like the Sanrio, except thank God the Sanrio isn't going to be limited and we're all going to be scraping and dying for it.
Yeah, and I think it's also the fact that like we don't know how many of these are out there.
Right.
That's such a thing. I'm reading about this now because it was a Tamagotchi you were able to get through being a Shonen Sunday Manga Magazine subscriber.
Oh wow. That's really
Oh.
limited.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you had to, I guess you read the Detective Conan manga. You were subscribed. You got issue 3000, and then
Oh.
maybe there was like a little form on the back that you filled out, and you I don't even know. I don't even know exactly the details of it, but yeah, what I'm reading is like Nobody knows how many was produced, but there are rumors that it was a limited edition of 100.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
if that's the case, that's so fucking rare.
I heard that
Yeah.
that was like for the Oreo Giga. I'm not sure, but I heard that that was also a mail-in thing. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen that in stores.
Dude, man, I miss the days of fucking mail-in items, you
I
know?
know.
I miss Nintendo Power.
Oh my God, yes.
I miss it
And
all.
I don't want to go off on a Nintendo thing. Nintendo.
I don't want to. No, well, honestly, then go off on a little Nintendo tangent because it's a great segue into our craft corner, which is basically going to wrap us up, you know?
That's true.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, the new Nintendo rewards program that they're
Oh,
doing now,
it's
what's
such
it called?
ass.
Huh?
It's ass. I don't know what it's called. I don't
The
know what it's called, but
Japanese
it's terrible. I hate
the
it.
Japanese one, they have such cool things that you can redeem your points for, but
Oh,
the
well, yeah, I'm
American,
sure the Japanese one's great, but the American rewards is ass.
I know. They have like Animal Crossing like letter sets, and they have like Animal Crossing like a whole bunch of stuff like Splatoon, like phone cases, and Labo like pencil holders that look like little houses. Oh my
What
God,
the
they're so
fuck? I'm so
makes me
pissed. Like, God, God, I'm not gonna lament about how I need to live in Japan, but we all know it.
Yeah. Japan gets all that good shit. It's not
Yeah.
fair.
And the Animal Crossing lottery stuff, which
I'm
to be
sick
fair,
of paying like 4 times the worth of a fucking Gachapon like keychain. I just need to move.
save up all that extra money you would have paid
All
to
that money I'll be
mess
saving
up.
on those fucking keychains
Oh my
will
gosh.
pay for my apartment.
So, Rinyo Seo, actually, she's the one that worked on Clefairy and Eevee on the For You, where you could raise those two. She is working on Jigglypuff and Ditto. She posted a picture recently, so this is our little craft corner segment um, since she's making these herself as downloads. She also has a Patreon as well, where she gives out like exclusive downloads for Tamagotchis. But I'm super excited for Jigglypuff and Ditto. The Ditto actually looked like Jigglypuff though. It was Jigglypuff with the Ditto face. I don't know if you can like change the shape of the Ditto. Probably not. That'd be pretty tough to figure that out, like the costume, maybe costumes or something. I don't know, but I'm super excited either way. Anything Pokemon related with Tamagotchis, I love.
Oh, I know. Like when she first came out with the Jiggly, or not the Jigglypuff, excuse me, the Clefairy and Eevee, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And like, I mean, it looks so legit, and she does such an amazing job. Like, she's seriously so talented. And honestly, I didn't know about the Jigglypuff and Ditto until like today when I read it in the episode document. I was like, oh my God, like I'm so excited. And I definitely need a reason to start up my For You. And this is like the best reason ever. So I love Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is like my squishy little bubblegum friend.
I hope she has the little microphone as her accessory. It'd be so cute.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Oh yes, just to like clarify, it's if you want to follow her on Instagram, her Instagram is RINYOSAYO. So Rinyoseo. And yeah, she has a bunch of cute stuff. And I think she has other downloads and stuff. Uh, Sometimes you can donate on her Patreon and have access to them that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool.
So if you want them exclusives, you got to pay up. But honestly, support her because she creates such amazing stuff. I'm pretty sure I still have Eevee on my For You. If I turn it on, that's what will be on it. So highly recommend. Check out her Dropbox. She's got so much content.
So much good stuff, like little twin stars, Sailor Moon. I think she made like the Tamagotchi characters as well. Like so much good stuff, and a whole bunch of wallpapers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And the Clefairy and Eevee characters that we are talking about, you can find them on the For You app, Mr. Blinky's For You app, in the promotions tab, right?
yeah, I think so. Something
Okay.
like that.
I'm pretty sure that's where you find it. It's not on a Dropbox, is what I'm saying. So don't go there if you're looking for Eevee. Hit up the For You app.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have any crafts you want to share or anything you've done recently?
Well, I received my keychain in the mail, my Tamagotchi Animal Crossing crossover keychain from Oreo, Oyyyro prints on Etsy.
Mhm.
And it is so freaking cute. It's big. It is like probably, yeah, like a little bit bigger than a V5. Yeah, it's just super cute. It's got Brewster, Isabel. I don't have the keychain in front of me, so it's hard for me to remember. KK, can't remember all the characters that are on it right now, but it's really, really cute. It was just so well made, double-sided acrylic keychain. And she's got a bunch of other cute stuff up on her Etsy, so check her out. Shipping
Yeah,
was fast as well. I think she's located in the Philippines, but I got my keychain probably about a week after she posted that she was going to be sending them out soon. So
Nice. Yeah, actually, I haven't done anything recently, like craft wise, but I did order a Tamagotchi planter pot, like custom. It's gonna be the Kuchi Pachi like spa like style. She has made one before, but I had her like customize mine with like a little green tea bottle. But it reminds me of our podcast too, but it's like my favorite. And it makes me kind of want to make my own little planters as well, because I've actually, for the first time, I've planted some succulents and aloe and stuff, and I'm excited. I hope I don't kill them. But so I'm super excited to be waiting on that, and I'll probably end up making some as well, like with the little Tamagotchi faces on them. Because I've made like a little cradle before, little Dorachi Tamagotchi cradle, and I love it. What about you, Lila?
recently I received a really beat up aquarium V5 from my friend Dylan, and like it was really bad. The shell was just like all the colors were completely faded, very scuffed up. And I actually restored the whole entire shell.
It looks so
Hey,
good.
oh, thank you.
I saw you
I'm really
resined it
happy.
as well. So
Yes, I
that'll
did.
be. Did it like? I'm sure it's still curing, but
Yes, it's still curing now. I've been playing around. I bought some resin to purposely to experiment with Tamagotchis. I've done a lot of customs before, and I usually use this stuff called diamond glaze, and it's similar to resin,
mhm,
except it cures more quickly, and it doesn't require mixing.
yeah.
So I use that, but like it doesn't have as shiny of a finish,
Mhm.
and I'm not really sure how durable it is, like over an extended period of time handling the item, you know. So I definitely wanted to try resin because everyone says resin is like super strong. It doesn't, rub off over time. And yeah, so this is my first time using resin, and I also used it on a custom chibi that I made a while back. So I'm excited to see how those turn out. And it was nice to have practice for the our giveaway. So that's exciting too, to get some new techniques going. So when I make the custom, it'll be really, really good for the winner of our giveaway.
Resin is it's a mess for me, but it's fun to work with.
And it
um,
yields good results for sure.
it does,
High
yeah.
gloss, and it'll be like chip resistant. So
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted something like, I mean, you see like Arena's work. Not that I'm anywhere near her level, oh my God, but like she does the really beautiful UV resin, which I was tempted to buy, but the lamp, you have to buy a UV lamp and that kind of stuff, and it just seems messy. And I have a toddler, and I don't have all the time in the world all the time, so something, a bit. I mean, you just with AB resin, which is what I used, or I think it's sometimes called epoxy resin. I'm not really sure, but
you just mix the two parts.
Right, and there's not
apply.
a lot of there's not a lot of fumes or anything like that. So I think
Just
does
gotta
UV
worry
resin
about popping bubbles. I don't think UV resin really is like fumey, but the whole thing is that you have to buy the lamp, and that can be quite a cost to get a large enough, high powered enough UV lamp that will cure the resin in the appropriate amount of time. Because if you get an underpowered lamp, the resin will just never cure.
Yeah, exactly. I know you can do it in the sun, obviously.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can.
But I've also heard that
you have to live in a very sunny area and like have an unobstructed amount of UV. Which it doesn't have to be super sunny, but it's like you have to think that the rays are traveling quite far.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about science and space and
but also when you do it outside, you're opening it to like a bunch of environmental factors, and you're gonna get a bunch of dirt and shit in it. So
yeah,
it's not really recommended. You want to do it in the most sterile environment possible.
Yeah, exactly. So for our little graveyard segment, just to close things out, I can say RIP to my Digimon. I'm not even sure what you were when you died. My Digimon X, I'm sorry. And I can also preemptively say RIP to my Gudetama, because I know you have to die in order to reach your final stage. So
So rest in peace to you eternally, because your life is just Groundhog Day of dying over and over again.
Yep.
That's so grim. I feel so bad for Gudetama.
I know.
It's like a little torture device, a Gudetama. Jeez.
Yeah, you see him being taken away and put in the microwave. Your baby's snatched by the chopsticks.
The microwave to Gudetama. I am inevitable.
Oh my god. This is what you're meant for. To be dancer. RIP to my Digimon X as well, but thank you for the egg that you left.
It was a great exchange. Worth it.
True. I have powerful baby.
Yeah, strong muscle baby.
RIP to the batteries of my meats, because now that they're dead, I don't know if I'm going to put them back in just right now. So effectively, it has died. I'm not going to be playing it probably for a little bit, just because it's like the weekend and I want some low maintenance stuff in my life.
Right.
So I'm actually running like a bunch of virtual stuff, and nothing is capable of dying, I don't think.
Nice. Thank you guys so much for listening this time. We had a lot of fun, talking about Tamagotchis and stuff. But until next time.
As always, you can find us on our social medias. We are on literally everything you can think of that's important. Don't try looking for us on like LinkedIn, okay? We're not there. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can find us TMGCT. That's TMGCTEA.
And Discord. And you can come chat with us if you want. Discord
and if you
link
don't,
should be...
screw you. No, I'm just kidding. No. And if you don't, that's okay. I understand.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.